Welcome to 100 Yards of Football, and this is our legend segment. Today we have a great show for you. Man, we already started before the show. There was a show before the show. And so today we have one of the best, if not the best, cornerback tandem in NFL history. My guy, class of 81, Mr. Hanford Dixon, and his counterpart, Frank Minnifield. Guys, welcome to the show. The dog pound's in the house. Hey, listen, guys. Hey, thanks so much for being here, man. You know, Hanford, I've been trying to do this for a long time with you, and so I'm glad we got a chance to get you guys on together.
Hey, man, glad to be here, big dog. You know, when you told me you had Minnie, I didn't have a choice. You know, because he had his mouth all stuck out if he'd came on and I wouldn't have showed up. So, you know, I didn't have no choice. I had to be here. You know, before we get started, I have a question for you in a minute. I have a question for you guys. Okay, did you guys watch? You probably watched a little bit of the game yesterday, when the Jets game. Okay, and Greg Williams, defense coordinator, at the end of the ball game, he had him in a man-to-man, and he caught a lot of heat for it. And of course, they fired. You know, they caught a guy ran out and up, and on the corner in man-to-man coverage, and the guy caught about a 50, 60-yard touchdown, and they lost the game. All right. Now they're giving Greg Williams a lot of heat, and they fired him because of the defense they played. I am just curious to see what you guys think about that, and I'm gonna tell you what I think about it. I mean, obviously he could have called. I thought he could have called a better coverage, but I think if they should have fired anyone, it should have been that corner. Because let me tell you why. Because you got 5 seconds left on the clock. 5 seconds now. What is he biting on an out for? And let the man run out and up on him and catch a touchdown pass. He could have that all day. I'm gonna run up and make the tackle.
well, let me say this. See, that's gotta see when we think about these young guys playing. See, they didn't study the game like you two guys studied the game. They probably don't know football like you two guys know football, right? We live in a different day. It's a different thing. It's a different product on the field, right? And so it's crazy. 5 seconds on the clock, right?
Yeah, 5 seconds and he biting on an out and up.
Out.
I mean, what is wrong with it, Minnie?
It's crazy. That's crazy.
They'd have been mad at me because I gave him so much cushion.
So much cushion.
Yeah.
But you know there was 2 routes you didn't like.
What was it?
It was that post corner.
Hey guys,
if you want to hold somebody, let's go down the way already.
Yeah. Well, they'd have got me for holding, but I guarantee you he wouldn't have beat me for no touchdown in 5 seconds ago.
They would have got you for tackling, man.
Yeah.
Well, hey guys, again, man, welcome to the show. Hey, listen, Hanford Dixon, you my boy. I mean, we came out in the class of 81. You know, you played college football at Southern Miss. And we played you guys almost every year. I think we played 3 out of 4 years against one another, right?
That's right.
You were considered the #1 corner in the 1981 class, right? And that was a heck of a class with DBs. I think we had 6 DBs drafted in the first round.
Yeah. And Ronnie Lott came out that year.
Ronnie Lott, Kenny Easley.
Ted Watts.
Yep, Ted Watts. That's right, my homeboy.
Yeah. You remember Ted played at Texas Tech?
That's right. That's right. And so, selecting the first round, 22nd pick by the Cleveland Browns. All right, Hanford played all 9 years of his NFL career with the Cleveland Browns. He's a 2-time All-Pro. He's a 3-time Pro Bowler. Hanford can do it all at corner. Bump and run. He can backpedal with the best. He's a great open field tackler. Hanford Dixon can do it all, right? One thing I can say about you did have a complete game.
Thank you, big dog. You know, I tried and pride myself on tackling as well as I did on covering. But one thing Frank could tell you, the two of us, what we tried to do, man, we just tried to be prepared.
Absolutely.
Every game. And I have to say this, I thought I studied a lot. I thought I was always ready for a ball game until I met Minnifield.
Okay.
And when I met Minnifield, and I said, well, good gracious, this is somebody that studies more than I do. And so I had to prepare a little bit more, but it was fun, though, the two of us going at it and trying to take out the opposing wide receivers on the opposite side.
Well, that's awesome. Well, Frank Minnifield, Frank, man, thank you again for being on the show. You were considered to be too small to play college football. I guess when you came out of high school, you were 5'9", 140 pounds.
5'6".
5'6"?
5'2".
5'2"?
No, you're right, Bobby. He's 5'9".
So Frank, you ended up walking on at Louisville, right? And you paid for your college, your first year in college.
Yep.
You earned a scholarship. Your last 3 years, you did earn a scholarship. So you had to be doing work.
No, Bobby, I got to correct you right there.
Okay.
I never did earn a scholarship.
Really?
No, they never did give me a scholarship at University of Louisville.
Oh, wow.
Bobby.
I see it.
Bobby,
it's written in a lot of places. They say it all the time. But that's something the University of Louisville is putting out. I never did get a scholarship from University of Louisville.
So
Bobby,
you paid for the whole 4 years?
No, Bobby, he ain't paid, man. He still got some of that money from Minnifield was making more money than the coach at Louisville, man. Come on. You know better than that. Y'all be shaming yourself. He's making more money than the, oh, man, come on. Boom. We all know better than that, man. So he's going to sit by his block after the game,
So Frank, all right, so when you go to Louisville, I mean, it was tough for you though, right? I mean, you got your first playing time on special teams.
Right. Right. Matter of fact, Bobby, I led the nation in kick returns as a junior. Okay. And then I led the nation as a punt returner as a senior. Okay. All right. And so that's how I got on the radar screen. The legendary coach, Coach George Allen, basically drafted me in the USFL because he was looking for a kick returner. Okay. And once I got to the USFL, they realized I was more valuable as a man-to-man defender than I was as a kick returner. Okay. And plus, those guys in the NFL and the USFL could kick the ball a whole lot higher than those guys in college. Right. So I had a hard time trying to get underneath those balls.
You didn't have your glasses on.
That's what he couldn't see it.
I was accustomed to catching those little banana balls. I got to the USFL, man, that ball stayed up in there for years.
That's great, man. So let me ask you this, Frank. So playing for George Allen, do you think that helped you prepare, get you to the NFL?
Oh, Bobby, that's the greatest thing ever happened to me. That, like Hanford said, when I played for Coach George Allen, the whole week we did more studying, more reports, probably in a week than the Cleveland Browns did in a half of a year.
Oh, wow.
I mean, Coach George Allen wanted a report from everybody on everything. And, coming from University of Louisville, there wasn't a whole lot of preparation in those days. I mean, we just lined up and played. And, that was good enough to beat Southern Mississippi most of the time. Just line it up and go.
Have a dinner, beat y'all.
Hey, dog.
Have a dinner.
Not while I was there, big dog. Not while the top dog was there. I wasn't playing there. Not while I was there. Now maybe when Hanford was gone, you was beat Southern Mississippi, but no. Look.
So, all right. So Frank, you were a 4-time Pro Bowler at Cleveland. First team All-Pro in 1988. NFL 1980s All-Decade Team you made, and you were inducted into the Kentucky Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2004. And you were known for your aggressive bump and run and your very physical play, right? And so, so you developed all that under George Allen, you feel?
No, I wouldn't say that now. Coach George Allen didn't try to teach me how to do bump and run. The bump and run kind of came natural for me.
Okay.
Now I played bump and run like totally different than most people wanted to teach it. Like me and Hanford, we actually played bump and run totally opposite.
Okay.
When I met Hanford was wanting to stay inside the wide receiver, a wide receiver 100% of the time, no matter where they lined up.
Okay.
No matter what pattern they ran, he tried to stay between them and the quarterback.
Okay.
Now me, I wanted to stay on the outside of the wide receiver.
Okay.
Because I wanted to look through the wide receiver to the quarterback, and then go try to play the ball.
Okay.
Because I felt like that I was going to be able to jump higher than most of the other people's going to be able to jump. So that's what I want to do. I want to jump and try to knock the ball down.
Right.
And so, especially on go routes and post and all those routes.
So it's amazing because you and I had this conversation the other day about bump and run, and we both came up to the conclusion that there's no one way.
No.
I got baptized in 1985. The Falcons, we were always changing coaches and always doing new things. And we played that 46 Bullets defense in 1985. And all it was bump and run, Hanford up close and personal. And so the guy who was coaching me was my college coach, and he didn't know how to play it. He said, Bobby, he said, I can't tell you what to do. You're going to have to learn on your own, right? It was the best thing that happened to me because now I was learning about trial and error, right?
Well, the thing that killed me today is I sit there and I watch these guys play it today, and with most of the teams, I wonder if anybody's teaching them, or is the guys that are teaching them, have they actually bumped and run?
Right, exactly.
Because it's crazy. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. I look at some of the stuff I see and some of the techniques and the things that they play. And the majority of them today, they don't even, I don't know why they call it bump and run. They should just call it just run.
Run, because they're not bumping.
I mean, because they scared to bump.
Right.
I mean, because they scared to bump because if they're afraid of missing them. See, now,
me and Hanford, when we watch a video of ourselves playing a game, I mean, we didn't think we did a good job unless we kept the wide receiver at the line of scrimmage.
That's right. That's right.
We'd be teasing each other.
That's right.
We met.
Right.
The last thing we want to do was let a guy run
and be in a chase position.
We probably had full growing. Last thing we want to do is try to outrun a guy.
Exactly.
Well, even though we could outrun them, but we didn't want that.
No,
because
we got run about the first 3 games, but about 6, 8, 12, we had every pool under the sun. Everything was pool.
See, Bobby, one thing we realized, and it didn't take us long to realize this, we understood that if we got the jam on the line of scrimmage, when that quarterback look over there, if he see you and that wide receiver are tied up, he can't stay there.
Right.
He's got to game over. He's got to do something else. He's got to go somewhere else with the ball. And see, they don't realize that, and they keep telling me, "Oh, you only have 5 yards." That's all you need is 5 yards. You don't want to. You want to stop him before he comes.
Right.
I don't have a. I talk to him. Somebody they tell me, "Well, we only have 5 yards." That's the most ridiculous thing in the world.
Right. Exactly. But I don't do it. But to me,
but you know what, Hanford? The one thing that I don't see nobody doing that we kind of hung our head on that sneak attack at the line of scrimmage.
Yep.
We hung our head on it. I mean, we couldn't wait to get a little help over top so we can go after them.
Yeah, he better not be close on the line of scrimmage. He better be off the line. If he on the line of scrimmage, you can forget him.
Oh,
he's in trouble. Oh, he's in trouble.
Right.
He's in trouble, dog. He's especially we got a defense call. We got over top. Tell him, Minnie.
Well, I'm gonna tell you guys something, man. When y'all were playing, Minnifield, when you got to Cleveland, y'all was making so much noise. You know, the whole league took notice. I had my ear tuned in to Cleveland. And if y'all play on Sunday night or Monday night, I'm gonna be the first one to the TV. My wife can't come in the room. I got to see what these cats are doing. And here's what I picked up from you guys. Just what you just said. Y'all was keeping guys on the line of scrimmage. Y'all was winning at the line. And so if you win at the line, your work is easy.
It's easy. It's easy.
Your work is easy. And so these guys today, they don't touch anybody. They just bailing. Like you say, they call it bump and run, but it's just running. You know, you got to touch those guys at the line of scrimmage.
What I try to tell some of them, and I even, you know, they want to bring in their own defensive back coaches and their own people to coach it, you know, bump and run and all that. And again, they bring in these guys, you know, I'm like, how you going to tell a man how to bump and run or what to do when you're in trouble if you've never been there? I sit there and watch him, and some of the things that I see him make a lot of excuses with his head position. Mm-hmm. Head position here. If I miss a jam, Bobby, Minnie tell you, if we miss a jam, ain't no sense in me looking back at the quarterback. Oh. What? You gonna see me, boy? I am in a full. Minnie, you gonna take Minnie to tell you about it when I miss a jam. Minnie, I ain't gonna look at no quarterback. Tell him I'm trying to catch up. You know?
Exactly.
And my point is, there's no sense in looking back at that quarterback if you're not where you can touch that wide receiver.
Right.
You know? And what we realized too, Bobby, now you know this, when you have that good head position, it eliminates those double moves.
That's right.
On you. I mean, because if your head position in the wrong place, man, trust me, I know. I done been there. Man,
everything. Well, you know what's funny? You know, when you play the position, it takes a lot of different things to be a good corner. All right. Number one, it takes a short memory. Right. Number two, when you do lose him at the line and you chase him, you don't panic.
Don't panic.
The quarterback put it on him, he gonna catch it and he gonna score anyway.
He's gonna score anyway.
But 9 out of 10 times, the ball is going to be underthrown. So when you start chasing, he going to slow down somewhere. Just wait for him, and then turn your head back in your position, make a play.
And can you guys believe watching today the panic how they panic?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, right. Yeah. Bobby, you just finished talking about it. How they panic, how they just because just like you said, 9 out of 10 times, if you don't panic. If you, as soon as you can touch him, you turn around and look, you're gonna either intercept the ball or you're gonna knock the ball down. Very rarely they're gonna catch the ball on you. It's got to be a perfect throw.
Right.
And every now, how many times you're gonna have that perfect throw? Many used to say sometimes we had a DB guard with us, dog. You know, we had the DB guard with us.
Hey, sometimes you gotta come into play.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, well, man, I'll be remiss. Talking about bumper run, I'll be remiss if we don't pay homage to the great Mel Blunt for changing the bumper run rule for guys like us.
Yes.
Because Mel Blunt was a 6'3", 220-pound corner.
Big corner.
Just killing guys all down the field, 20 yards down the field, 15 yards down the field. And then they brought the Mel Blunt rule in, and guys like us got a chance to participate in the greatest game on the planet.
That's right. That's right. What? That's right.
I mean, it's like it ain't fair, right? But thank God.
Mel was long. Mel was long too.
All I remember, and I want to ask you guys your story behind your football career, how it began. With me, I started dreaming of playing the NFL when I was 9 years old. I went and wrote it down on a piece of paper after watching Gale Sayers play in a game, right? And my trek started. My mindset started when I was just 9 years old. You know, you asked me, anybody asked me when I was 10, 11, what are you going to be? I said, I'm playing National Football League. everybody would laugh at me, Frank, because I was so small. And you weighed 140 pounds when you went to college. I weighed 145 pounds. Matter of fact, Hanford, when I went to Florida State to visit, the guy who was recruiting me told me, put on your jacket, and when you get in there, don't take it off. Whatever you do, when you meet Coach Bowden, don't take it off, because I had a big jacket, right? And I didn't understand why he was telling me that, right? And so I didn't take it off. But when I got there, Frank, weighing in at 145 before practice, weighing out at 135 after practice, Coach Bowden was pitching a fit that they got me, that they signed me until I knocked the All-American tight end out of practice one day. and next thing you know, I'm blocking punts. And next thing you know, I found a place on the team as a freshman, 145 pounds. And when I got drafted, Hanford, I don't know if you know this, I weighed 155 pounds in 1981. That's all I weighed. Me and James Brooks was the smallest two players in the draft. Well, we would go to those little things we had because we didn't have a combine. Remember, we had those 4 different places we went? We went to Dallas, we went to New York, we went to Philadelphia, we went to Tampa, and so many teams were represented. We would get on the scales, and the coaches would be laughing. And he should piss Brooks off, man. He said, I'm going to show all y'all. He only weighed 159 pounds. And we both had 12-year careers. How you figure that out, right?
Hey man, that sound like Eddie Johnson, man. You remember Eddie Johnson?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, Eddie went to University of Louisville too, and Eddie was so light, man. I never will forget when he used to weigh. Eddie used to slip a 5 to 10 pound weight in his pants, man. So he can make weight. But Bobby, let me tell you guys my story real quick. I didn't start playing football until my sophomore year in high school.
Wow.
I was always very, I wasn't very big. I wasn't as small as you guys. I was about maybe 165, 170, but I was always very fast. I mean, super, super fast. And my parents didn't want me to play football. So my father actually told me that I couldn't play and I couldn't stay after school every day in practice, but I would stay anyway. And I would stay knowing that when I got home, I was going to get my butt whipped.
Right, exactly.
And I never will forget one day, man, some of the guys on the team, man, they wanted to go home with me. And I tried to tell them, no, man, y'all go somewhere else, because I ain't want them to see me get my butt whipped, Wow. And so finally one day, man, my mama talked my daddy into it. And she said, Handler, why don't you just go over there and watch that boy practice or something and leave him alone? And so my daddy came over and he watched me practice, and he saw I was pretty good, and he said, okay, I'm gonna let you stay, and I'm gonna let you practice. So that's how I was able to start playing football. Okay. And my whole mindset when I started playing, I used to play running back, and I used to play running back, wide receiver, and obviously I used to play a little corner. So my whole mindset was after my sophomore year, my junior year, I said, well, I think I'm good enough to get me a scholarship, So and then I was good enough. I got a scholarship. I used to tell everybody like you. I used to say, hey, I'm going to play professional football. And they said, man, you crazy. Right. You know where you're going to play professional football. You know how many, the percentage of people that actually make it to the pros. I said, you watch, see what I tell you. I'm going to play professional football. So I got a scholarship to, I went to University of Southern Mississippi, but I could have gone to a lot of the other schools, SEC schools and all that, but we won't get into why I went to Southern Miss, but it was a good deal and it was a done deal. Right. And my whole thinking, Minnie, while I was at Southern Mississippi, I said, if I could just get drafted by the 5th round, I know I can make somebody's team. So after about my second year and then my third year, I said, man, Shit, I could be a first round pick here. I started sticking my chest out a little bit after I had walked into Southern Mississippi and made everybody mad, telling them I'm going to take somebody's job. I said, oh, you got two corners here. I said, one of them going to belong to me. To me. That's how cocky I was, Mighty Mo. Walked right in there as a freshman. I told them somebody going to have to move.
I love it.
And sure enough, somebody moved. But I didn't start. My whole thing is I didn't start to my sophomore year. Wow. And thank God my dad let me play. So
yeah, that's awesome. What about you, Frank?
Well, Bobby, I'm gonna tell you a story about one of my darkest days ever, man. Mm-hmm. In high school, I thought I was pretty good, but nobody else thought I was big enough to play college. Mm-hmm. So University of Louisville comes and pays me a visit. Only school in the whole country that showed up at my door and at least come to talk to me. Mm-hmm. And the guy tells me, he said, we ain't got no scholarship, but we like to see you come out and let us see if you can compete at this level. And that was enough for me. That was like a promise for me.
Right.
And so I show up at the day that he told me I'm supposed to be there. I didn't know the head coach. I didn't know the defensive back coach. I didn't know nobody. I showed up because the guy showed up at my high school and said, hey, practice starts on this day. Mm-hmm. I went home, wrote it down.
Wow. And
I was in Louisville on that day. It was the first time I ever drove anywhere outside of Lexington, Kentucky.
Wow.
I show up at University of Louisville and wasn't really impressed with the athletes. Kind of thought that we run those gassers at the end of practice. Mm-hmm. I come in first, but I hadn't practiced more than about 5 plays. Okay, I was fresh. Hey, I was still putting it on them though.
Right. You did what you had to do.
So practice. They divided the teams up. They divided the team up in the junior varsity and varsity, and so all the 1s and 2s went on one field. Mm-hmm. Everybody else was on the other field. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm over on that other field as a walk-on, wearing some Bud Out over there. Mm-hmm. I ain't giving up no catches, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not giving up nothing. This happens every day. And so they send their best player over there. Mm-hmm. to come and show me the business. Mm-hmm. And you know what he's gonna do. He's gotta go deep, right?
Right.
Hey, I chicken winged him. And you know what that chicken wing do to a guy?
Minnie, you got Minnie, show him what you mean when you say you chicken wing.
Yeah, that was that forearm right
Yeah.
Bam. I chicken winged him.
Oh my God.
And hold on. Hey, I hit him in the ear hole. He stopped, but he still took off. And the surprise of the whole deal was I ran him. Wow. And this was their best player.
Wow.
He stumbled, he took off. I was a little bit behind him, and I outran him, knocked the ball down. Wow. And so from that point on, I thought I've already proved myself. I'm, when they need somebody, they know I can play this game, right? So it happened. The 1s and 2s on the other side, and I don't know if you guys remember Dwayne Woodruff played corner for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Dwayne Woodruff, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Y'all can hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Dwayne Woodruff gets hurt. And I'm thinking, I'm the best cornerback over on this other field. Mm-hmm. And they asked this coach, our coach was named Vince Gibson. They asked Vince Gibson, Coach, who do you want us to send of the cornerbacks over here on field 2? Who do you want us to send? I'm waiting to hear my name. I mean, just the arrogance that I had about my ability. I know they're going to call my name. Coach going to say, send me Frank Minnifield.
Right.
But you know, I'm a walk-on, right?
Right.
I'm a walk-on. And he says, send, and I'll never forget it. This name will forever haunt me. He says, send me Leon Williams. I said, Leon Williams? Who is that?
Who is that?
Who is that? And I see this guy go jogging across the field. He ain't knocked down a ball all week.
Wow.
Everybody took him deep.
Wow.
He said, send me Leon Williams. And I watched him. And I mean, I focused on him, and he ran all the way across. And we never saw Leon Williams again. He stayed over there for the rest of the training camp.
Right.
Never came back.
Wow.
And so, you know, I shook it off. I'm a walk-on.
Right.
I shook it off. I continued to shut them down over. I ain't let nobody catch nothing.
Mm-hmm.
When I went to do walkthroughs with the Vasi, I shut them down. Wouldn't let them catch nothing. They would be complaining because I knew what the play was. I still wasn't gonna let them catch the football.
Right.
Even though we was gonna do a repeat.
Right.
I still go. They run it out. I still knock it down. It gets to a point that they complain. So guys, here's come my lowest point in my whole life. At the University of Louisville, before the season started, we had a triple A team, baseball team at Louisville, and they used to take the football team to the game and introduce us in front of the crowd because they was having big crowds, right?
Right.
And so they had a jersey on me of number 10, and Dwayne Woodruff wore number 10 also. But I saw other people with duplicate jerseys, so I wasn't.
But they didn't call you Leon Williams, though, dog. Please tell me they didn't call you Leon Williams.
Please tell me they call you Leon Williams. So here they go. They go numerical. I'm lined up behind Dwayne Woodruff. Dwayne Woodruff 10. I'm 10. I'm lined up behind Dwayne Woodruff. And they started numerically. They call number 1 out. He runs out from center field all the way to home plate, get lined up. Call number 2 out. He runs out and get lined up. Number 3, number 9. They call number 10, Dwayne Woodruff. I'm thinking they're going to call me next. They don't call me next. They go right to number 11. The coach that's managing the line, he says, no. You get over here, Minnifield. You get over here. They're going to call you at the end. But they call in other double numbers. So there's a double 44. There's a double 33. There's a double all the way down the line because we got probably about 120 players. And so I go to the back of the line. I'm thinking they're going to call me at the end. And they called the last 99. And then they said, there we have it. Oh, wow. The University of Louisville Fighting Cardinals. And they hadn't called me out yet.
Hey, you was the only one they didn't call?
Hey, and you know all the guys, all the other freshmen, they loved it like crazy. They couldn't get off the ground. They laughed so hard.
Oh no.
They laughed for the whole night. When they came back in, they were laughing about me being dressed in the Cardinal uniform. They were laughing about how I had my shirt tucked in, ready to go. They were laughing. They just, it was the boys. They couldn't get off the ground, man. They were so funny to them.
Wow.
But it destroyed me, man. Wow. It destroyed me.
Yeah, that wasn't right.
That night, I decided I was going home. Wow. I decided that I've tried my best. My best ain't gonna be good enough, so I'm going home. And so I let everybody go sleep that night. I got up about 1 o'clock in the morning, tiptoed out of the dormitory, loaded my car up with everything I own. I'm going back to Lexington because I'm about 75 miles from Lexington, Kentucky. I'm going back to Lexington. And so I get in my car, I creep out of the campus. tried not to wake nobody up because I knew the guys was gonna ride me like a dog if they saw me packing my stuff and leaving.
Right.
So I get in my car. I ain't never even told Hanford this story.
No,
I get in my car. I'm headed home. It's like 2:00. This is 1970. This is 1975, and so no, this ain't 1975. This is 1978. I'm sorry.
Right.
This is 1978, and so the highways is pitch black. Ain't no cars on the highway. Ain't no lights on the highway. I'm the only one out there on the highway, and about halfway from Lexington, Kentucky, and Louisville, I started having this premonition of this guy named Cotton that lived in my neighborhood in Lexington, Kentucky, that he spent his whole day talking about has-been athletes and how great he was and how great Tucker was and how great this guy was and how this guy wasn't nothing and this guy wasn't nothing. And before I left to go to Louisville, he told me, he said, I heard you going to Louisville. I said, yeah, I'm going to Louisville. He said, well, you going in the front door and you'll be outside door and you'll be back here sitting with me by August the 15th. And I kept on replaying that in my head over and over and over and over. Wow. And I pulled off the road and slept in my car that night. And the next morning I got up and I could take a right to go to Lexington, or I could make a left to go back to Louisville.
Wow.
And I started driving, and the right was the first turn, and I passed it up. And I went back to Louisville.
Wow.
When I went back to Louisville, I tried to be the greatest athlete that University of Louisville has ever seen. When I left Louisville, my 40 went from 4.6 to 4.3. My vertical jump went from a 29 to a 48.
Wow.
I was on the all-American strength team when I left. I was, like I told you, I led the nation in punt and kick return. And that was pulling double duty of playing man-to-man every down at the University of Louisville for my last 3 years there.
That's awesome.
And so when I think about my career, man, I think about when I could have turned right to go to Lexington, Kentucky.
Right.
And if I had turned right, you guys would have never
heard about it.
You guys would have never known Hanford Dixon.
Wow. well, Frank, so here's the thing about that story. And this is the important part to me. Every one of us, somewhere in our life, had a moment. And I call it the pivotal moment that changed everything, right? Because I know for me, is when I sat the bench for the first time, lost my girlfriend. I was in the 8th grade. I never forget this now. And, nobody gave me a chance. All I knew was I got to go to practice and prove to the coaches. And every night I was doing the best I could and was doing great, but they never saw me. But Hanford, the defensive coach of that team was a guy by the name of Red Odom, who was Coco Gauff's grandfather, the little tennis player, 16-year-old tennis player that's playing right now, the little black girl.
Yeah.
Hometown. Her grandfather was a defensive coach. Every night he would tell me this, Hanford, Bobby, we need you on defense. And I'm like, I ain't doing that. Just give me the ball. I was a quarterback, y'all. My whole life I was a quarterback. And I'm like, no, just give me the ball. I never played that year, but I decided to do what he asked me to do, and I learned how to tackle. I was in the 8th grade. I just learned how to tackle. 2 years later, I'm starting free safety in high school, 135 pounds. As a 10th grader. And then 2 years after that, I'm 145 pounds. I'm being recruited to play Division I football. So we all got that moment. And here's the message to the parents. If you're a parent of kids right now, sometimes you got to allow your kids to go through the process. Keep encouraging them that they can do it, Don't you jump on the coach. Don't you curse the coach out.
Right, right.
Just tell him that, son, keep working hard. Don't give up. Because that's the biggest thing, I believe, is not giving up. See, you could have easily went back to Lexington, but that guy's voice made you keep going. And that's the power of what I like to tell people. Just keep going. Don't quit.
Well,
how many years you play, Hanford? 10.
Well, I'm gonna tell y'all this before we go. He's not the only one almost quit, and but mine was a little bit different than him. I was starting my freshman year, and I never forget this guy as long as I live. We had a defensive backs coach named Coach Weatherford. That was his name, Coach Weatherford. And Coach Weatherford, man, I'm telling you, he was the toughest coach I ever in my life. I mean, this guy, we used to have a drill. And you know that drill where they take the ball and move you this way, move you this way, move you this way. Then they do like this and you got to run back and then they throw the ball up. You got to catch it at the highest point. And if you don't catch it, you don't catch it. Everybody got to come right back and go again.
Right.
And let me tell you, Joe. Man, we couldn't catch that ball. Man, we must have went probably about 8 times in a row. And it was so bad, guys, I actually thought I was going to die. I'm telling you, I actually thought I was getting ready to die on the field because I couldn't catch my breath. I could not catch my breath out there. And so what happened was I told the boys afterwards, I said, man, let me tell y'all something. I said, y'all don't know, but y'all almost lost me today. And this was the truth. I was getting ready to go, boom, because I thought I was gonna die, man. You ever been out there where you couldn't catch your breath? And I'm down in Mississippi in Hattiesburg, and it's hot.
It's hot, bro.
I mean, it's hot down there. But I almost died. And I told Coach Weatherford later on, I said, man, you almost lost me, dog. Almost lost me because I just said, boom. I wasn't gonna say nothing to nobody either. I was just gonna go. I didn't get like you well packed and got everything out, but man, I almost left.
But we all got those moments though.
Yeah.
And that's the message to our story. Mm-hmm. See, you know what? You know how when we go somewhere, Frank Hanford, we go somewhere, we speak to a banquet, or we speak wherever we go, and they start to read our bios. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I sit there and shake my head. I say, they make it sound too easy.
Yeah. You know,
these kids gonna think, oh, he just was a hell of an athlete. You know, oh man, he was born to do that. Man, they don't know how much work. They don't know the price we had to pay. They don't know those times when we wanted to quit. And it wasn't just one time. It was several times, right?
I tell him you look at that old country boy from Theodore, Alabama, dog, Dirt Rose, Dirt Rose, body minute, Dirt Rose, give me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Hey, listen, guys, before we go, let's talk about one thing.
Okay. Because
this is important. Now, I played in Cleveland, I think I'm going to say about 4 times in December in my career. I'm a Florida boy. I'm from South Florida at that. I can't do that cold. I'm still having a hard time. The day I think it was 36 in Atlanta, I'm struggling. And so tell us about the dog pound. Because not only did y'all had great, I call y'all football, blue collar football in Cleveland. Physical, tough. But y'all invented the dog pound, which involved your fan base. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, I know Minnie was gonna come back on screen for that. Why you have to come back on the screen, Minnie? Why you gotta go back on the screen?
Hey man, my speaker's gone down. I can't figure out how to cut it back up. So I'm really listening to it.
Right.
Okay. Again, the whole thing started, and Frank can chime in when he want to. We just, we never had that great pass rush. Mm-hmm. And we had the 2 all-pro corners, talking about Minnie and myself. But, we had some guys on the defensive line that could really get after it. But just to say we don't have what we call a Myles Garrett. Right. We didn't have what we call a Myles Garrett on our thing. So, I remember being down south how dog used to chase a cat. So we were at Lakeland Community College, and when we were at training camp at Lakeland Community College, the fans were really, really close to the field. So we were initially thinking about the dogs as being the defensive line. And we were going to bark at them. When we bark at them, we want them to think of that old quarterback as a cat, them the dogs, they lay their ears back and go get it. All right. So we were at training camp, and we started we started barking at them, and man, before we know it, the defensive line wasn't the dogs. The whole team was the dog pound.
Wow.
And what's crazy, Bobby, right when we got ready to patent that thing, and NFL Properties already had it.
Oh, wow.
Already. NFL Properties already had it. Now, you talk about was mad.
Oh, you had to be.
You talk about was mad, especially today. They still using the dog. Hey, Minnie and I, we'll take our money.
Right.
You guys, we'll take our money. Y'all, write us a check. We think we deserve something on the whole thing, What you think, Boom? Tell me we deserve something. Yeah.
Hey, Andy, I know what we need to do. We need to just send an invoice and see if they pay it.
Yeah. That's what we need to do.
Send them an invoice and see if they pay it, man.
Yeah. It will hurt. Yeah, they can. Shoot. Tell them if they don't pay it, we'll follow up with legal action,
That's funny. But I tell you, y'all created a monster, not only with the team, but with the fans. I remember being in that end zone, man, down there, and people going crazy on the end zone. Hey, bro, I'm telling you, people don't know the difference that can make in a ball game. Yeah. When you got your home base, your fan base just going crazy, and y'all driving, get ready to put one in the end zone, and we got our back to the wall. Hey, man, the 12th man is for real in sport. 12th man is for real.
All right, Bob, I ain't got time to mess with you no more, man.
Well, thank you guys for being on the show. I appreciate it. Hey, folks, if you like the show today, comment, share. This is 100 Yards of Football, our legend segment with the Dog Pound, 2 of the greatest NFL cornerbacks in the game, Mr. Hanford and Mr. Frank Minnifield. Thank you guys again for being on the show, guys.
Always a pleasure, Bobby.
All right, man.
Take care, Mighty Mo.
Appreciate you, buddy.